Hi everyone, I'm MaryAnn. I'm a visual artist and voice coach from Singapore, currently in Singapore, and welcome to day 65 of my 100-day vlog series. So if you're someone who has a dream and you really want to go after it and you want to create a worthy and meaningful purpose for yourself in this life and you're not really sure how to go about doing that, or you have started and you're really struggling and there's a lot of uncertainty as to why you're doing this, whether it's the right thing for you, or maybe you just don't even know how to continue and whether you should even continue. Well, all these struggles and all these questions are things that I have dealt with over the last few years on my journey of making my dreams come true. And what I found is that it is a learning process. It is a lot of trial and error. It is a lot of practicing, learning how to do this better every single time. So I'm here to share my learnings, my realizations, my experiences, in the hopes that you can find some clarity or some framework as you figure out your own journey. So if you have questions, feel free to ask them in the comments, or you can directly message me through any one of my social media links which are in the write-ups attached to these videos. So yesterday I shared about how it's not enough to just be very clear about what is the specific outcome that you want when it comes to pursuing your dream in a very specific form. It's not just about having a plan that works to get you to that outcome. A lot of it actually has to do with your attitude, how you approach executing your project, how your belief system is when it comes to executing your project. Like, are you someone who strongly believes that it's going to work? Are you someone who is very positive that you're going to make things work? And it's also that attitude of like giving it your 100% or even 120% in some cases, and ensuring that, no matter what happens, I am going to get this thing and I'm going to make it happen. And even if I fail, I'm going to try again. That kind of resilience, that kind of intent that you have put in to say that this is going to happen and I'm going to make this happen. So I would say that at the very beginning, when it comes to doing our project towards our dream, a very big factor in it is that it starts with our intention. Are we intending that it's going to work? Are we intending that we're going to succeed? Or are we letting the voices in our head tell us that, oh, you're going to fail, oh, you're not good enough, oh, it's not going to work? And this is a very tricky thing a lot of times because we have so many voices in our heads. And sometimes, we really want to make something work and we think that our attitude is good, but we have blind spots. And our blind spots don't allow us to see that we are actually sabotaging ourselves sometimes, or that, we keep repeating the same mistakes without realizing. And this is where working with a coach really helps a lot. Because we can't see certain things about ourselves, and that's where a coach comes in and points out what you might be missing, points out something that you may not have noticed, or even a mentor who has been down this road before. They're able to help you pick out those things. So there's a lot that goes into the attitude that you have as you are executing and taking action on your project. And one other principle that I abide by, and my whole life has been built around this, I think, is the principle of integrity. So integrity is about the wholeness and completeness of things. And this links back to what I shared a few vlogs ago about how you always want to complete what you've started. Because integrity is about, in a very basic form, is that, when you say you're going to do something, you actually do it. And then whatever you have done, you're honest about what you have done and what you haven't done, that you're not lying and saying that you've completed something when you actually haven't. So this is where having a very clearly defined project plan helps a lot. Because when you have a very clearly defined project plan, it can tell you exactly whether you are doing everything that you said you're doing or not. Whether you are really doing it to the expected standard that you have set for yourself. So ultimately, integrity is really about keeping that promise to yourself that you're going to make this thing happen and that you're going to give it your best shot, that you're going to give it your 100%. And when you're evaluating your project on a weekly basis, one of the things to check in is, are you really doing your best? Are you really giving this everything you've got? Can you really say that you have done your best when it comes to this project? And if you haven't, then obviously something needs to be changed over there. The practice of integrity also is not just something that you deal with in your project. It's something that we can work on in our lives as well. Are you someone who keeps your word? Like when you make plans with your friends, do you cancel on them last minute just because something better comes up, or because you suddenly didn't feel like going out anymore? There's nothing wrong with like, you change your mind or whatever. I mean, I don't want to debate whether it's right or wrong or anything like that. I'm just talking very simply about, do you keep your word? Are you a person whose word actually means something versus someone who says, yeah, let's meet, and then you don't actually make any plans to meet. So this kind of attitude that I'm talking about, that that you have towards making your dreams come true, is also the attitude of how you live your life currently as it is. If you're someone who cannot keep your word and cannot keep your promise, then it's also very unlikely that you're going to keep your promise to yourself to actually make your dream come true. If you're someone who is consistently late, for example, so there's this thing called time integrity, where you keep to the time that you have set for yourself in terms of your project. Like if you say you're going to do it in 1 month, you finish it in 1 month. Of course, sometimes we have to make adjustments because of unforeseen things that happen. But time integrity is another thing that is a very common place that people go off in their integrity. Like when you say you're meeting someone at 1 p.m., are you there exactly at 1 p.m.? Or are you thinking that, oh, it's okay to be 15 minutes late? And your friend may not mind that you're late. Your friend may just be like, I have more time to read my book now or play my mobile phone game or something while they're waiting. But ultimately it still comes back to you as a person. Are you keeping to your word? Are you keeping to the agreement that you have made with the people around you? And most importantly, because it still comes back to your relationship with yourself, which allows you to pursue what really matters to you and manifest what really matters to you or not, it still comes back to, are you keeping your agreement with yourself? So integrity is one of the principles that I hold very highly in my life. I'm not going to say that I'm 100% keeping to my integrity all the time, because I'm only human and I'm still working on this. But it is something that, whatever I say, I really mean it. I don't like to say things that I half mean, or at least I do my best not to, because sometimes, maybe out of fear or something, I might slip up and say something I don't really mean just to get out of a situation. But as far as I can, I do keep to what I do say what I mean. I have to practice what I preach, because otherwise I would feel very off within myself. And I am at a point where I am learning how to complete things that I've started. So there's an improvement from before, but there's still always room for growth, and there's still always room for further evolution and further development in this area. So if you have enjoyed today's video, subscribe to my YouTube channel or like my Facebook page wherever you're seeing this on. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask them in the comments, or you can directly message me through any one of my social media links, which are in the write-ups attached to these videos. And I'll see you tomorrow.